She tried to hide her infant daughter under her shawl, but a soldier noticed the baby, snatched her away, and tossed her into the fire. Hasina said several hours later, the soldiers took her, her mother-in-law and sister-in-law, and 3 other relatives and children to a nearby house. The soldiers raped the women and knifing her mother-in-law to death when she resisted. They beat Hasina and her sister-in-law unconscious. They beat the children to death with spades. She said the soldiers tried to burn her and her sister-in-law alive in the house, and they managed to escape the flame, but with serious burns. Young children and babies have either been burnt alive or killed. Mothers have lost their children and live in agony in the camps. And those children who were lucky to escape are either orphaned or tell stories of horror. The pictures and videos of the Burmese government opening fire, torching homes, and images of burnt bodies are too graphic to be shown in any kind of audience. There's a story of these 2 brothers, Abdul Aziz, now aged 9, and Zahid, aged 6, who were lucky to escape. They fled the violence by swimming across the river while the army was shooting at them attempting to swim across. Their father was not as lucky, and he was shot. They watched their family massacred. Their mother and 3 other siblings were taken to a house that was set on fire. Out of a family of 7, only 2 remain. Orphaned and alone, they look out for each other with no future or place they can call home. In a camp in Bangladesh, Ali, a 10-year-old, stands quietly. He has witnessed the massacre of his parents and siblings. Ali has not spoken. Another 5-year-old was not lucky as Abdul Aziz, Zahid, or Ali. She was killed with a sword when she tried to save her mother from rape. The violence of August 2017 has left many children traumatized. Children are going through psychological and emotional outbreaks. This is a drawing. In the camps, to keep the children busy, the aid workers gave children paper and colors to draw and color. But this is what this child put out on the paper. You can see he's drawn people, he's drawn guns, he's drawn people being killed and blood. The situation is dire, and many had to flee to save their lives. They hid in forests and they walked for miles on foot for days. Some walked 14 days with little or no food and water. They escaped on dingy boats that were crowded. Some were lucky and some were not. Today, over 1 million Rohingya are living in camps and crowded shelters made of bamboos and plastic shacks with poor sanitation, making them susceptible to disease. There have been over 10,000 cases of diarrhea. The question arises, is there anything we can do? Each one of us has the right to live with dignity and, most important, without fear. There are no extra pieces in the world. We are all here because we have a role to play, to benefit others, to help others. So how can you help? Call your senator, your representative. Ask them to bring this issue to the Senate floor. Ask them to engage with the US Department to bring sanctions on Myanmar for crimes against humanity. Call the UN to pressure China to change its stance on blocking the UN resolution in the Security Council. Write on social media. We all know that the pen is mightier than the sword. Let there be, as if we write more and exchange more on social media, more people are going to know about it, and we can get more support for these people, and we can get help too. In the end, I would like to say, we as humans should respect the lives and sanctity of other humans. Thank you.